Hello, people. Mo here from Never a Foul, your guy. I'm here to talk all the preseason. Lots of things happening today. I got a great panel for you today. We're going to discuss all the teams. We're going to discuss some about the Community Shield. I got a great panel in the background. But you know what it is? You know what it is? We have to run the intro. Hey, before we go into anyone from the panel, let me get some comments to see who's here. Charlie, Abel, they're champions of the Community Shield. They call it a trophy nowadays. Yusuf, how are you, my friend? Thank you for being here. Rahim, it is great to see you guys. It's great to see everybody in the chat. Thunder Road, yes, thank you for being here. Daniel, big up Daniel. Zane, oh, thank you for dropping by, my friend. Always. Gunnar Vittel. Oh, of course, everybody. All the Gunners are excited about their season. They think they're gonna make it all the way. Probably the challenge for the league. You talk to these Gunners, man, and they think that we won the preseason trophy. Probably they did. But I'm gonna start with the Man United, my guy, Double A from Never a Foul to Talk United. Double A, how are you, my friend? Welcome.
Oh, I'm well. I'm all about it. We're finally getting to share the screen together. It's been a long time coming. We've been like ships in the night, passing each other, not being able to get on streams. But yeah, first I'm looking forward to talking some football with you, pal. It's great to be here with you, 100%.
And Monty, the Gunner. Oh, he's coming with big head today. After bagging for Jesus for them, he is coming on. Monty, my friend,
Yay.
welcome.
Cheers, man. Thank you for having me on. It's good to be able to speak to you guys. Yeah, man, I'm buzzing. I can't lie. I'm not reaching for the skies yet, but it's exciting. It's exciting.
Is the
Be the
first
only
comment that
one.
came was Jesus, mashallah, 4 goals today. He is he's the top scorer of the preseason, right? Like he's the top
hmm
scorer of the preseason everywhere. I'm gonna start a little bit with we're gonna start with Double A here. That Man United game. Are you worried at all about like today with Atletico Madrid losing the game at the end? It's a 90th minute. Joao Felix with the fake flicks and tricks at the end of the game, but I didn't see Man United were not bad at all. They were okay. So how did you see that?
I'm very worried about this season. I don't think United have prepared well for this season at all. I mean, that performance today, you say we didn't play bad. I don't think we played well or well enough as we had done earlier in pre-season. It wasn't a 10 hard performance that we've seen from Manchester United. So I'm very worried. You could have took that performance for me and put it against any team from last season. It was a carbon copy. We didn't look cohesive. We didn't look threatening at all, really. We had some decent chances. Probably the players should have done better. That Martial chance early on. But I think Manchester United have let Ten Hag down. That midfield, I'm going to say it, is the worst midfield in the Premier League. At Bournemouth, Fulham, Nottingham Forest, all these clubs wouldn't take them two midfielders in their starting two. McTominay and Fred together are absolutely terrible. I mean, I don't know if you saw the Everton game from last night. That the guy came on, scored a penalty for Everton, replacing Dele Alli. I'd rather have him in the midfield than McTominay and Fred. They are terrible players together. And if United have any aspirations to breaking it back into the top four, we need to get rid of them. Mayo and Fred Flintstone need to go.
Yeah. Thoughts on Ericsson today? He came in the second half. I thought he looked a little bit. He wasn't bad, but give me your thoughts about Ericsson and to be on Van de Beek.
Yeah, Ericsson, I think, it's early days, only trained a little bit and came on in the second half. Some nice little touches, some nice little passes. I think there was one he created. I can't remember who it was for now, but a lot of people saying if Ronaldo was on that, some of these passes, if they find Ronaldo could be cooking and scoring some goals. So I think it potentially might start tomorrow against Rayo Vallecano at Old Trafford. It'll be interesting to see. I don't know where he's going to play him. I don't see him as an 8. I don't think, although he could play there. Is it him and Bruno fighting out for the number 10 spot? If so, Bruno could be in trouble because Bruno wasn't great today. But I think it's a wait and see with Eriksen. Like I say, I'm excited to see him maybe tomorrow. See how he does against Vallecano. Van der Beek, another one I'm very, very worried about. Got dropped today, you could say, for McTominay. Didn't start the game when he came on. A bit anonymous for me. I don't think he was overly exciting. And I don't know what he needs. Like he needs a jolt. He needs, the paddles. Clear, boom, and he's bringing to life. It doesn't seem like he's doing anything. And it needs to be
creative spark.
Yeah, it needs to, it's not even so much to create a spark. He just needs to grab the game by the scruff of the neck. A few tackles here, just
go for the 50-50s.
Yeah, 100%, and just really stamp his authority in the game. And it's okay coasting with sixes in a game, not doing too bad, but we need them 7 and 8s for him to really say, "Listen, I'm here and I want to play in United's midfield," because he may think he's got blind loyalty by Ten Hag, but I very much doubt he has, considering McTominay and Fred are probably going to start the season for us. So, yeah, I'm worried for Van der Beek, and I want him to do well.
Do you see any signings coming in though for that midfield? Because what's going on? No one knows what's going on with De Jong at the moment, do they? It's a bit.
It's just a nightmare. I'm bored of it. I'm trying not to even entertain it anymore, because it's why have we waited all this time for one player? And there's rumours that we could wait until the end of the transfer window. Why are we going into the Premier League with no midfield reinforcements? We've lost 2, potentially you could say 3 with Mata as well, and we've not replaced any of them. I mean, we needed 3 anyway, 2 or 3 anyway. We've not even got 1 in. So the midfield is really, 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 really lacking any sort of quality and depth, as well as the forward line.
Martinez playing there at all, double.
But he's brought him in. Apparently, he's brought him in as a centre back. That's what the line is. So, is he going to be lumped in midfield? And then it's Maguire and Lindelof. I don't think we can't be starting with them 2 either. I don't think they're good enough in the Premier League. They dropped too deep. There's no pace.
Has Martinez played yet at all?
I don't think he come on today, but no. I believe I don't think he came on today that I can remember.
I believe he's going to play tomorrow. I think he's going to
start. I think he'll start tomorrow. I imagine he'll start, because I think Ten Hag said those that didn't start today will start tomorrow. So probably get a first look at him at Old Trafford tomorrow. I'm excited to see him, and I think potentially he could dislodge both of, or let's hope so, Maguire and Lindelof, if Varane can stay fit. But I don't want to be sending 50 million on a centre back for him then to be shunted into midfield, because we bought another player from Ajax, and that happened to him in Daley Blind. He came in as a defender, was shunted to midfield, and then left back. Couldn't really find a place for him, and then ended up leaving. So Martinez is a centre back. That's what it needs to be. And people saying we can play him in central midfield is allowing the Glazers to get away with it scot-free, and the board to get away with it scot-free. Why are we not spending the money? Apparently the money's there, going by Richard Arnold. So we need to be spending this money and backing the manager in what he wants.
For the people asking about Cass and Dabs, Cass is in London. Dabs is going back from his vacation. He was streaming with us. You remember, from Portugal, from his holiday in the last a week. So he's coming back. I'm sure he's going to be here tomorrow. We're probably going to do a big reaction tomorrow for the game today. But I'm going to go to Monty and ask him, are you, after today, bummed? Do you think you can overtake that 3rd place, to be honest?
I don't know. At the moment, I definitely think we can push top 4. I mean, because it's pre-season, I'm not going to sort of overblow it, but there's a lot to be excited about, and it's now about the consistency and whether they can now do it in the Premier League week in, week out. That's the main thing. But I think definitely top 4 should easily be a target, if not more. And I wouldn't even be surprised. Arteta will go out there and say, we need to get back into Champions League. But I bet to the players, he wants to win. He's very competitive. I mean, he even was boring out Emil Smith-Rowe when they were playing bowling on tour. Do you know what I mean? He's just competitive in everything he does. So you best believe he's telling them to aim a lot higher. But to start talking about entering into any form of race with the likes of City and with City and Liverpool, we have to see how we fare up against them. So until we have those games, I think it's week 10 and 15 or something like that. They're quite close. I think There might be a bit different. But yeah, since we have those, we can't really see. But as long as we can like keep the consistency, we've got Palace first game away. That's a difficult one for us. That's a bit of a bogey team. That's going to be a good test. And I think to start a season off with a game like that is one lucky, because it's a case of, if we get that, we can prove our doubts. It'll prove our doubts like from pre-season. Because I wouldn't say we're carrying doubts. We've got expectations. It'll kind of confirm them, if you know what I mean. So if we can play like we have the last few games and consistently do that, I yeah, of course, I think we could definitely take third, if not more.
Yeah. Guys, hit that like button if you haven't yet. We got 36 people here watching, and we have only 28 likes. Please hit that like button. Help us expand and share it if you can. Monty, are you think that Gabriel Jesus
is the guy?
Is the guy for you? Is
yeah,
the guy?
Yeah, I think he is. He's just like, in the thing that's, and I was thinking this the other day actually. I can't believe how quickly he's just settled in. He's just come into the culture. The fans absolutely adore him, and he's connected with them. He's connected with the team. It's easy to see, and he's changed the whole way we play. Like his link-up plays, like today, were just mental. Like he was on, like he would come down into midfield, like left centre mid, get the ball, and he'd like flick it outside, like completely outside, and switch it. And you're just like, how has he seen that coming running back? He's crazy. He's a crazy guy. Like. And I think it's exciting. I think it is exciting. I think he's going to be, not necessarily, people say, is he going to score 20 plus goals? I'm not sure yet, but I think he will have a lot.
Are you just scared to say it so people will not come back at you? Because I think, I'm sorry, if I have a forward like this playing the way he's doing, I'll be as confident as anybody in the world. You know, I'll be like, this guy is going to bang them goals every day.
Yeah, no, it's easy to sort of think
You're
that.
Being humble, are you? You're being just humble a little bit.
Nah, okay, maybe a little bit. I would say with him though, I do think he'll get like 18, 19 goals, but I think he'll get loads of assists. I think he'll get like 16, 15 assists. I'm not like, his GA will be mad. It's just because the way he plays, he brings people in. Martinelli today was just setting people up. Like he put that ball on a plate for Eddie, just ran up the wing from Xhaka's beautiful touch, passed it up. It's good to see, man. It's good to see. And it was nice because like even during our Wenger days, we'd see the beautiful sort of one-two touch football, and that's what they were playing today. Like when they could do one touch, they had one touch in. Where they had to take a second, boom, they had to get another one. And we were seeing that, but what we missed, we never had the pressing. We never had that pressing. We never had retrieving a ball once we lost it during Wenger, and then. Like, now we can see it. Like the pressing, we're disrupting people like right at their goalkeeper. So it's exciting to see.
To be honest, it was fun to watch. Forget that. Forget the press. Forget the hard work. It was fun. You remember the fun?
Oh, I loved
back
it.
in the days, the Arsene Wenger like goals, and it was fun to watch. I'm not a
four goals in 9 minutes. Like I was just like.
It was kind of eye-opening, to be honest. It was kind of eye-opening that this guy, Arteta, he has a plan. He just needed the players. I believe, AA, that Ten Hag has a plan, has a philosophy. We saw it before.
Just takes time.
Not only, they haven't backed him up. He wanted a player. They haven't backed him up. And now comes the superstar of the team. Creates all this fuss about leaving and not leaving, where the season starts in a week and he doesn't know he's going to start up top. This is kind of a shambolic situation, to be honest. It's a continuation of all the Mourinho, Oli, and it's just the Glazers.
It's just the continuation of the soul proper that's been Manchester United for the last 10 years. Obviously, just going on there, what I said there, I think, going back to Arsenal there quickly, I think, Arteta, you comparing him, obviously, say Ten Hag, Arteta's been backed, and I don't want to get gas for Arsenal anyway, but I think Arsenal could really break into the top three, most definitely. I think they're going to give Chelsea and Tottenham a real run for their money. Obviously, anyone that knows me knows I love Brazil and my national team, and Martinelli and Jesus are two absolute ballers who, for me, what he's always needed, and he needed at Man City, never really got it. Obviously, he was understudied to Aguero. To me, he's one of them players that needs the arm around the shoulder, being told, a bit like Martial needs to be told, you're my guy, you're the number one. And I think you're going to see him cook. I think Arteta is going to absolutely just wrap his arms around him and show him that love and affection that he's needed. You know, even last season, City didn't have a striker. He shunted out on the right wing and still was playing really decent. And you think if he'd have played centre forward for City last season, he could have got those 30 goals easy. And there's no reason, I don't think there's no reason why he can't do it for Arsenal. 100% Saka. If he hits form, Martinelli hits form. I think, you know, Odegaard as well, and Smith Rowe, they've got the players there to really back him up.
Odegaard is mental. He's touching his little interchanges that he was doing with like Jesus today, little back heels, flips, like just 1-2s. He's a crazy player. Yeah,
who's going to be the right winger then for United? Who's going to be the right winger for United?
Yeah, well, it needs to be Sancho. I think it's going to have to be Sancho, and this is the problem we have because going back to United, I think. Like I said, it's a sole proper Manchester United, and apparently it was a brand new Manchester United. We're cutting ties from Arnold and Judge, Woodward and Judge, Murta and Arnold. We're going to bring this fresh, new United, and we've probably had a worse window since Moyes' Fellaini season. That's how bad this window has been, considering the number of players that have left and what we've brought in. We brought in a potential starting left back, but at the moment you would say an understudy. We brought a centre back and a free signing attacking midfielder. So Ten Hag has not been backed, and Ten Hag can only work with what he's got. And I think he's already making them excuses, saying, you know, if I don't get De Jong, I'm going to have to work with what I've got. And that sums up a lot of problems for me. You talk about the right wing. Sancho was missing today through illness. He'll play tomorrow. I doubt it. But if we get any sort of injury, Ronaldo obviously going to be coming back. We've got Martial and Rashford. Rashford for me is still massively underperforming. I don't see really any signs of massive life there with him that makes me confident that he's going to come back and start producing as he did 2 or 3 years ago. So I'm worried about that.
It's a shame to see, to be fair. It's a shame to see. I like Rashford as a player.
I love him. Obviously, Manchester lad, like myself. So obviously, what I back him, what I make sure. We like having those young Mancunian boys coming in and being a figurehead of our team. And for whatever reason, it's not working for him at the moment. And it seems like maybe he needs to just go back to basics and stop doing the Hollywood shots.
What would you say then, as like your window has like sort of developed and how your squad's looking at the moment? What would you say would be your realistic target for the season?
I'm on the same list. This is genuinely, we would be lucky to finish. If this squad stays the same, we'd be lucky to finish 5th. I think these teams, we need to be looking over our shoulder at West Ham. I'd even say maybe Newcastle.
Yeah, West Ham. I think West Ham have got a chance to maybe push into the top 6. You know,
yeah,
the window they've had is mental.
100%, and it's horrible. I wanted to be really optimistic. Ten Hag is the right man. I wanted to be optimistic. For this season, I'm not even excited to go. I've got a season ticket. I'm not really excited to go because I just expect it to be the same again. I don't think
I think he's got a plan now. I think he does have a plan.
He will do. But I don't think he's not started well. He's not been given the great start. I'm not expecting United. If we'd have got 4 or 5 signings, 6 signings, all of Ten Hag's first choices, that we'd be challenging for the league. It would have made us a lot more competitive.
I would sort of compare where you are though, like in terms of it's sort of where we found ourselves sort of after all this like Raul Sanelli and all that kind of stuff. We were just in a financial mess in terms of like we had aging players on contracts. We couldn't really we had loads of dead wood. We had to go through a whole process to change the way we did. We had like Stefan Lichtsteiner on our squad, for God's sake. Do you know what I mean? Like, so we had to get rid of all these players, and then we went to that sort of project youth. It just takes time. I think like Erik ten Hag would come in and do that though, but you've just got to clear a lot of cobwebs out, and it takes takes seeing it.
And and this is one thing for the Manchester United fans, any that are in the chat. Given how bad last season was, United's worst ever season in the Premier League in terms of points, obviously not position. We have finished lower once. Would any of you would have expected our first game of the season that potentially our starting centre backs and starting midfield would have been Maguire, Lindelof, McTominay and Fred, given what was told to us about this new start, Ten Hag coming in, wanting these players? A lot of United fans would have definitely said no.
Where's Varane? What is Varane?
This is the problem with Varane. I'm seeing with Varane, the exact same situation we found ourselves with Schweinsteiger. Bayern Munich knew it was time to let go of Schweinsteiger. United couldn't wait to snap him up because Woodward was thinking he was buying Neymar or Messi or Ronaldo. He thought he was getting this world-class midfielder. There's that famous clip of him saying, when teams see Schweinsteiger on the team sheet, they're gonna shudder. No one thought that for 4 or 5 years because he knew he was injury prone and wasn't the player that he was previous. So I see that with Varane. I think Madrid have played it smart. They knew his injury record wasn't great, and he's proved that with last season. And my fear is that he's carrying a long-term injury. It's going to keep him out. He's going to think about the World Cup probably more than he's going to think about Manchester United. So if he can stay fit, him and Martinez for me should be the starting 2 centre-backs. But as time and time has gone, it's showing, Ten Hag is playing Maguire, Lindelof. He's playing McTominay and Fred. I said it yesterday on Trafford Tunnel to Cass with regards to McTominay. There's 3 things that'll survive a nuclear war: cockroaches, Phil Jones at Manchester United, and McTominay in Manchester United's midfield. They're the only 3 things that will survive a nuclear war because they can't get rid of them. So I sound like I'm really depressed about Manchester United, and I'm trying not to be. I'm trying to be optimistic, but you fall into old habits. You see the same things. You see the same mistakes. Ten Hag can come with a plan, and he can try and tell these players what to do and how to do it. But the record shows, and the past shows, not a lot of these players have a great footballing brain, and I don't think they can take them instructions on board. To be fair, and that's where I find myself. Not looking forward to the season, and that's a horrible situation to be in.
I'm so sorry, man. Like it turns into this is turning into a therapy session for Man United fans.
I need it.
It's literally a therapy session. But I wanna go to Arsenal. Then I'm gonna move to Chelsea and see where they are. And I want to ask Monty a couple of things. Do you see you making any signings more before that season to back Saka up and back Martinelli before the season starts?
I do see another signing, yeah. I do.
So who do you see coming? The right winger or left winger?
I mean, with the right winger, recently, the reports that Reece Nelson will actually be given an opportunity this year to impress Arteta. So that might have called sort of the right winger chase, but I think midfield definitely, a left centre mid, I think is definitely one where we'll go because we're going to see a lot of outgoings. We've got Torreira going out, Leno going out, Ainsley Maitland-Niles going out. I've literally just had a mind blank. We've got quite a few that are looking to go out, but it's just getting them first. We've got to do those deals first, then we can get someone in. I think just at the moment because of the wage budget and everything that's going on, so just got to get rid of the deadwood really.
What happens with Bellerin? Do you think he stays? Are you gonna go?
Oh no, yeah, that was the other name. Sorry, yeah, Bellerin as well. He's he might go for free. That's the only thing. Wow. Because Hector Bellerin's basically rejecting like other clubs. He wants Real Betis, and Real Betis want to get him on the cheap because we're Arsenal, and that's what we've done the last few years. So, and we've got a bad rep on that. So they're just trying to get a good deal, and I mean, it's annoying.
Look at Keenan. You need a CM center midfielder, a DM, a white
and a centre back. Yeah, no,
that's too much. That's too much to ask. I'm sorry, that's too much to ask now. Like, what are you guys? You just signed Zinchenko. You signed who else? You signed Jesus.
Yeah, Vieira.
Saliba came back. That means he's on the wage bills now. So it's not gonna work. Like you're not gonna get 7 players in one window after getting Partey. Like that's not gonna. I don't see that happen. I see you making one signing.
Yeah, I think it'll be one. I think it'll be if we do get a second, I think it would actually be a centre back. To be fair, a left-sided centre back because Mari leaving. We need depth for that left.
Many names.
But even for rotational player, like do you see that Monty for rotational player? But it's because I'd love too many. But you have too many on the books, right? Like you have your Nennies, you have Tomiyasu, you have Cedric. It's just too many of them on the books, in my opinion. But I still think that you have to get Tielemans. Forget the wingers. You have to get.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'll take Tielemans.
You have to get Tielemans. To be honest,
I wish we would just come in and get him. I don't know why we're not looking at him. It's ridiculous. Like I love him. Some people flag him off. Yeah, I think he's a baller. I think it cries out. United's midfield is crying out for a player like him, and I'd be good.
Apparently, though, it's because he wants the Arsenal move.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that. So I can still be gutted though, mate. I can still.
Yeah, I don't know why. I wish we could do it. I think we've got to clear some out first.
I think you need to rush though, because obviously the rumours with Newcastle going in for Maddison. I don't see Leicester letting both of them go.
Yeah, 100%.
So maybe that's the kick up the ass for you to go and get that deal done. Maybe.
Yeah, literally just put the money down, boom, grab him. Because I saw that actually. That came out sort of yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think late last night. I think maybe. Yeah.
And
you guys watched the Community Shield?
Yeah, of course, mate.
Okay.
Yeah,
I know someone that definitely watched it. Definitely watched it. He's in the background. He's coming. And he is gonna give us the goods today. He's gonna give us the goods. Here he is.
Expecting a cheesy grin, yeah?
From Big Bands. What's up, my friend? And I saw your tweet. Nobody is gonna tell you to shut up today for the next 6 months, probably, with this guy. Talk to me about the game.
Do you know what? I don't even care about the cup, it's not cup the plate. I don't even care about the Community Shield. Let me just get that straight. I don't care about the Community Shield. But what I'm here for the people that was in my request sending me clips of Darwin Núñez in training. In training. So I'm here for all the fail compilations after he played 30 minutes. Because guess what excuse I'm hearing for Haaland stinkfest today? The fact that he's only played 45 minutes.
Reactionary. Yeah. Football fans are too reactionary, bro. That's what it is.
You know what, Monts? It's not only about that. It's just even myself. I said that Liverpool will come second this game. We doubted Jurgen Klopp after losing money and all the stuff that is happening, and Firmino being linked to to Juventus and all that. Like the shaking that happened in the club, like changing the front line. And I doubted them. But the first minute, I'm like, okay, this team is really well drilled. They are prepared for this game more than City, who we thought they're going to be the same machine. Liverpool, for the first 15 minutes, man, they smothered City. They couldn't pass the ball. City, they couldn't do anything. Erling Haaland was not even in the game. And I think I saw a tweet, someone saying that he hasn't even come to the stadium yet. And you looked really prepared. You look like this is the mid-season for you.
Yeah, no, this is what I'm saying. For me, I'll give City the benefit of the doubt personally, simply because they've only played 2 games. So they're still getting up to speed, whereas we've had a few games already. So this is why this isn't me digging at Manchester City, because I understand context. But my problem is that Darwin Núñez was given 0 context. He was given 0 context. I'm not even a Darwin Núñez fan. I'm not a Darwin Núñez fan. I don't think he's the answer to what we need right now. I think the best Darwin Núñez comes in a couple years or a year. So for me, I'm like, if he gets 13 goals, 10 to 13 goals, that's all right for me, because he's young and he needs to adapt to the system. So like for me, I would have maybe gone for someone else or gone for a midfielder and let maybe Origi play the 9. That's the way I would have gone. I'm not a Núñez guy, but I've had to jump to his defense, because what we were seeing on the internet, for me, even he was saying like resilience, because it was like shutting up the critics. Because for me, he hadn't even kicked a ball yet for Liverpool. People were sending in his training videos. When he comes on and plays his first 30 minutes, people are making fail comps. When he played 30 minutes of football. But I've got the same City fans telling me, Haaland's only played 45 minutes of football. How can you not be laughing at him in the Community Shield? Because you're the same guys that were getting onto Darwin Núñez, calling him Darwin Noodles, calling him Charles Darwin, calling him all these names. But now you want us to give the same context for your guy. I'm sorry, but that's not the way it works. So now let this be a lesson. Let this be a lesson, so you know that the guy you've brought in is not as technical as you think he is. Will he hit the ground running? He probably will. Is he one of the best young strikers in the world? Yes. Is he going to be up there with Mbappe? Absolutely. But understand, when we want to have context, accept that. And don't not give someone else context. Because now you've seen a man shine in 45 minutes and another man fail for 90 in a team with an abundance of creation. So allow me.
Nah, Monty, you're being too nice, man. Where's all this Scandinavian Kesman? the blonde-haired
the
Joe.
red, white,
Give
and
it him.
anti-barrel.
Give it to him, man. Give it to him.
Bro,
They
do you know
deserve
what it is?
it.
I've been shouting for 2 hours on Coppish and
Let me-
another 2 hours on my channel. But
Yeah,
I'll be real.
Monts, let me ask you something for real.
Go on.
Do you really think that Darwin Núñez today, apart from the goal, he was that good as an 80 million pound striker?
I'd think.
Forget Haaland. It's not about Haaland because Haaland today was really out of the game. He wasn't even in the
100%,
game.
100%. But what I'd say today was, I think that what he done today, he came on and he caused havoc. He came on and he was the difference. You looked at Firmino, and Firmino was tidy on the ball, but there wasn't an impact. There wasn't something that was. He weren't striking fear into the City defense. Let's be honest. It was coming from Salah and Diaz. More so Salah, because I don't think Diaz had a good game either. You know what I'm saying? But then when Darwin Núñez came on, he was on the shoulder. First, as soon as he come on, ball over the top, it should have been a penalty, but it was offside. It would have been a penalty, but it was offside. Secondly, he heads the ball, header wasn't going in, but handball ends up in a penalty. Do you know what I mean? He was the one who caused the press for Fabio Carvalho to go and get the ball, for Salah to then dink it over to Robertson, and then Darwin Núñez, after being the one to start the press, a successful press, was also at the end of the finish to get his goal. So for me, yes, it was a good performance of an 80 million pound striker, because he came on and done what he needed to do and won us that game. City could have got a last minute goal. It was only 2-1. You never know. City can be playing their worst. One chance. It's just one flick of a switch for them.
One thing I got to say, one big take I take from that Núñez's performance, he turned Ruben Diaz into Richard Dunn. Diaz was terrified every time Diaz was near him in the box. He was nowhere near him for the goal, and it was. I was impressed. Like I say, I've not watched tons of Núñez. You see what obviously like Monty's saying, in pre-season he's getting this, getting that. You can only judge him when the real test comes. Obviously, it's a friendly, but a mark has been put down tonight, and I think by Liverpool in general, not just Darwin Núñez.
Yeah,
and I don't remember the last time Liverpool had a centre forward that was like Darwin Núñez,
like Torres. Well, Torres. It was Torres and Torres.
Yeah, and that's how long ago that is. Like, causing them problems, being in the right place at the right time. The comments are coming in saying he missed a sitter, he missed a 1-on-1. But strikers keep on going. The good strikers, the world-class strikers, keep on going until they get the goal. And that's what he did tonight. That's what he did tonight. And you write him off at your peril, but I guarantee in that Liverpool team, he will bag goals.
Before we go on, guys, there's 105 people here watching. Please hit that like button before we move on, because I got a thing to say. I got a big statement about City. There's no City fan to respond to me, but I got a big say. I think City did not play well today because of Haaland, because the number 9, and I can see why Pep wouldn't want a number 9. I know that it's Haaland and everything, but you see how disruptive was having one less in the midfield. Liverpool were easy to close the spaces. It was easy for Liverpool because they have someone that is already marked. But when they had a false 9 last year, and I'm just talking about this game. City might win the league. I'm just talking about what I saw this game. Maybe Haaland will be integrated in the system later. But what I saw is the reason why Pep doesn't want a number 9, because he wants an extra guy to drop to help the guy pass the ball around. Kevin De Bruyne was trying to do all the work by himself, and Fabinho.
He got frustrated as well. Actually,
exactly, he got frustrated. Today, Jack Grealish tried. Do you know Jack Grealish tried to come inside the field to help because they have a number 9, and it didn't work because that left side was empty. It didn't work, and I think it needs a little bit of work. The difference is Darwin Núñez did the simple things. City tried to do the complicated work. Darwin Núñez came on and just did the simple things. He passed the ball to the winger, ran inside the 18, waiting for the ball to come. He did it like 3, 4, 5 times, and it worked. And because City, they're not used to playing Liverpool with a big number 9, they were scared. The defenders were scared because Núñez would get the ball, pass the ball wide to Diaz or Salah, and get inside the 18. But City defenders are not used to this. They are used to Firmino dropping to get the ball again. Darwin Núñez didn't ask for the ball again outside the 18. He was inside the area trying to get at the end of the ball. And they're not used to that. And this is why it was disruptive to them.
That's what I talk about with City. I think City's best form, let me put it this way. You don't look at Laporte and go, you're the best centre-back in the league. You're the best centre-back in the world. You don't look at Diaz and go, you are the best centre-back on the planet. Do you know why? Because City's defence is talked about as a unit, because in their system, their best form of defence is possession. So when you actually isolate City defenders in one-on-one situations, you see that, hold on a minute, you can actually get at these man. You can actually get at these man because their best defense is their ball playing ability. You see what I'm saying? Rodri is one of the best DMs in the world in a team that's keeping possession. But in terms of the reason I said I prefer Fabinho, because as a conventional DM, a man can get back and make a tackle. When Diaz was running with the ball, I think Rodri at one point was running and he was slower than Diaz was running on the ball. I was looking at him and I'm going, I actually forgot. Rodri's so good, I forgot how stiff he was. That's how good he is technically. I forgot how stiff he was. You see what I'm saying? So when I talk about Manchester City's frailties in defense, it's not saying they are bad defenders because their defense is great and they don't concede a lot of goals because they have so much of the ball. The performance, that second half performance in Liverpool reminded me of Southampton's performance and Broha's performance against Manchester City in the first half. I don't know if you remember the game I'm talking about, but Broha should have scored that game, and he was basically doing what Nunes was doing, playing on the shoulder, giving them problems, pressing high. And when City didn't have the ball, bro, like when it comes to one-on-one dribbles, these men couldn't hack it. They couldn't hack it because and that's why I know people laugh at Liverpool for saying, "Oh, we got the best centre back in the world. We think Matip's top 5 centre backs in the league as well as Van Dijk." We say that because we play such a high line that Liverpool defenders, maybe apart from Trent, are used to being isolated in one-on-one, 2v2s, 3v2s, 4v3s. Because how many times did you see City get in a 4v3 situation in this game? Loads of times. Loads of times. It was just Van Dijk, Robertson, and Matip against 4 attackers or 3-on-3s. We are used to these situations as defenders, so we're used to dealing with matchups. City's defenders aren't used to dealing with matchups, hence why that's why no one talks about Cancelo being not a great defender defensively, because it's never really a matchup because he's always the one on the ball. I might seem like I'm waffling here, but it's objective what I'm actually trying to say. You know what I'm saying? So people don't see that, and City's deficiencies are constantly hidden. And I'm not saying it's going to happen throughout the season. City are a monster of a team and will continue to terrorize the Premier League. But just understand that when you put it on them with a nasty, fast, proper striker and stuff like that, if you isolate City defenders, they will suffer and they will struggle. And that's what Darwin Núñez done today. I'm glad he didn't start, so he can look and understand what he needed to do. So that's my part. And in just for the City fans and for everyone else that was doing the Darwin Núñez and all that stuff, yes, I'm holding back, bro. I'm holding back because again, the Andy Carrolls, the Uruguayan Andy Carroll, Charles Darwin, all that stuff, Central fucking C. Are you not mad? Come on, bro. Central C. Like, I'm gonna start calling Haaland Homelander. Do you know what I'm saying? The Norwegian Mitrovic. Do you want me to start doing that? Come on, man.
It's different. It's different because Haaland coming in with he's a well-known name in the world, and Darwin Núñez coming like from one season wonder, all the stuff in Portugal and all the things. But I get it, man.
Guess who gets more context? One's the best one is arguably the best youngster on the planet, and the others just had one good season. Guess which one gets more context?
Yeah, it's to be honest, it's just one game. I want to highlight one thing here that Dana said. It's Pep will always find a way. We know that. Monts said it.
I was going to say as well.
Like, Alvarez looked good. He looked.
I think City will have like a good season. To be fair, though, like you know what I mean. Like they always start early. They always start poor in like pre-season. They like rev up. They're like an engine. Once they start getting well greased, they just start slapping. But I mean, they still had good. I mean, Haaland as well. I mean, people say, he had and I agree with Monts earlier, what you're saying, like everyone getting on to Darwin after like 30, 40 minutes. It's like, bro, like it's not everyone clicks like in the first half, you know what I mean? So Haaland just didn't finish his dinner today. Like he had a couple of opportunities, but the movement he was doing, it's still promising on their side as well. So I think it's going to still be you guys going chasing it. But what I will say with as like a sort of aside from today, I'd love to see Arsenal start challenging you guys later. You know what I mean? Like I want to get to that game.
Monty, you might like this, innit, bro? But I think City have lost more than what they bargained for in Gabriel Jesus. A lot more than what they bargained for in Jesus. For me, it looked like, you see Jack Grealish. He looked okay, but every time he got to the byline, it's like he ran out of ideas.
Yeah,
there wasn't the extra midfielder there. So for me, Sterling doesn't do that, and Jesus doesn't do that. So when I say people ignore City's deficiencies, because your name is not Manchester United and your name is not Liverpool, they're not magnified. They've sold Sterling to a Premier League rival, and they have sold Gabriel Jesus to a top 6 rival. Do you see what I'm saying?
And I said that they got
that
worse.
is a lot, and people aren't speaking about it. They've lost more than they think in Gabriel Jesus. He's got me scratching my head. Trust me, Gabriel Jesus might get.
I was surprised. I was surprised you let Jesus and Sterling go. For me, that fair enough. You bring in Alvarez and you bring in Haaland in, 2 players not proven in the Premier League and not guaranteed to do anything. I know Alvarez scored. Haaland is Haaland, but I'd expected to keep one of them 2 around. And I think I don't know, man. Grealish for me is I think by the end of the season could turn out to be a £100 million flop in terms of playing for a big club. I think so.
People say that this is going to be his breakout season, man.
If he doesn't get a free role, then
he's never impressed me. He's never really impressed me at City.
I think Sancho has a better season than him. I think this is Sancho's season this season.
I think so. United couldn't start nothing on the right-hand side today without Sancho. It was worrying that when Sancho wasn't there, and he's looked good in pre-season.
What was this stuff about Elanga I was hearing? What was in his interview? Did he say something in his interview or something? Did he piss a lot of people off?
I didn't even stick around to watch anything after the game, bro. To be fair, I just dipped. But I mean, it's worrying that he's starting for United if there's no Sancho, because he's just a less good Theo Walcott for me, just a pace merchant. To be fair, I don't rate him too highly.
But I just want to say that Pep Guardiola is still gonna have a system that will beat most teams in the league. They probably get 90+ points, but I was right in Liverpool. I thought Liverpool will go like a little bit like down, but I think after today, this guy has something in the back pocket. This guy Jurgen Klopp, he knows the system, and because people say it's only preseason. I disagree with you. When a player comes in and connects with the other players around him, that means they did something right in training. That means something happened. Right? But when a player comes in like Haaland, doesn't know where to run, they ran into each other. Grealish, Haaland, and Kevin De Bruyne ran into each other about 2-3 times. That shows me that maybe this guy, I'm not writing them off, of course, because I know that they're the best team in the league. There is no argument about this. They won the league for 4 out of 5 years. But it looks like it's going to take time for this guy, Haaland. It's going to take time. And I thought maybe it was a mistake today starting him from the first minute. Maybe. And I don't know, because it looked like the reason that the way he was integrated, this guy, Darwin Núñez, into the team in the second half is like after they a little bit exhausted the defense. It looked like Jurgen Klopp came to the game knowing exactly what to do, what is going to happen. And it just looked right, you know. I thought Liverpool team looked right, even with Henderson in the midfield. It looked like every player knew
Henderson
exactly
had
what to do.
Game. Henderson,
man, it looked like
he wasn't getting enough praise.
Saying he had a bad game, you know. I thought he had a good game,
bro. He had a good game, bro.
A lot of people, you know, Liverpool fans are saying he had a bad game. I'm not gonna lie.
Henderson, he was an engine, bro. The guy was running up and down, he forced them to play long balls back to Adrian about 2-3 times, but just pressing Diaz.
But he was disrupting the whole game, mate. Like I thought he had a great game.
Guys, we need people to hit the like. We have 120 people here. Hit that like. Get us to 100. There's a lot of people watching. Get us to 100. Help us expand. Help us bring you content. Just give us the like if you are a City fan. So we'll talk good about City. Give us the like. If a Liverpool fan, we'll continue to think. Give us a like for United. Give us the like. It's under the video right here for Arsenal as well, for Gabriel Jesus. Before Monty comes in, I want to talk a little bit about City, and do we see?
We should talk about Chelsea, because they
were good.
They were
good. I'm going to talk about Chelsea but this game, because these are the 2 title contenders, right? It was a big game, and this is the first Community Shield I see for years that was serious from the first minute to the last minute. It wasn't like a show for the fans or for the TV. It was every player took it serious. And this is what I liked. I like that, because all the other countries, in Germany, the Super Cup today, they took it serious. In Italy, the Super Cup is a serious trophy. In Spain, it's the same. In England, this is the Super Cup. But it's always have been a charity, a lot of subs. But today, we saw the subs were only made for a win. And this is what I like today. I like the game, to be honest, today.
I think the Community Shield gets more hate than it deserves, really. Because I mean, at the end of the day, yes, it's a friendly, but it's the two champions of like you got obviously the domestic and the league. These are like you earn to get there. So and you can see today like they cared about that game. Like just look at Nunes, like the way he was celebrating. Like that was mental. Like if I was a Liverpool fan, I'd like take
Salah
this guy
scored the
and
penalty. Salah scored the
Just
penalty and
like-
celebrated.
Well, this is it.
Yeah.
I think the rivalry between them two. Obviously, they are the two big clubs in terms of going for the league now in the Premier League. So it's always going to have that little bit of a bite to it, a little bit of spice. It reminds me a lot. I think Monty will agree that the United Arsenal Community Shields back in the sort of late 90s, early 2000s. They were taken like they were normal Premier League games. Fergie and Wenger.
100%. It was rivalry. It was a rivalry.
It's to put a marker down for the season. You cannot get one over on me this early, pre-season, friendly or not, because we want you to know we're here. And this season, you are going to be fighting with us, whether that's Arsenal going at United or United vice versa. That's what it reminds me of now, and it needs to be taken. I'm not saying it needs to be taken seriously in terms of the trophy at the end of it or the plate, whatever you want to call it, adding up to a tally. I don't agree with that, but the game should be taken seriously because it is effectively the curtain raiser for the whole Premier League season. So the FA Cup the winners and the Premier League champions going at each other, and especially when it's two big clubs, I want that bite. I want that seriousness in it, and celebrating a goal against them. Why not? Let's have it. It's fun.
Yeah. We're gonna dive in deep, guys, tomorrow in the chat. We're gonna dive in deep into the game tomorrow with Daps and other guests tomorrow. We're gonna have a match reaction. Maybe Monts will come on as well. We're gonna dive in. We're gonna dive in deeper. We're gonna dive in deeper into tactically and everything that happened in the game because, in my opinion, people don't take preseason serious, but these games closer to the beginning, the season starts in 5-6 days, right? Arsenal play in 5 days, so it's the season is around the corner. If you're not going to take it serious today, when are you going to take it serious? It has to be today, right? There is no
End
other.
of the day, you've got to beat what's in front of you. You know what I mean? Like you have to be able to take the ball by the horns and win every game. Like if you're not doing that, then what are you getting out of bed for? Simple as.
Exactly.
And I agree with it completely. Like you've got to take that bite into preseason.
At least the last 2 games, you know what I mean? At least that last game, it's just it has to be because you're gonna this is basically the final real training before your first game of the season. Are you gonna start being serious the first game? No, you gotta start being serious right before the exam, right? Like you gotta study well, and preseason is the thing, right? And I thought that today's game showed us what Klopp wants to do, and it showed us what Pep wants to do. He wanted Haaland in the 18. He didn't score. He had a terrible miss in the first half and a terrible miss in the second half, that cross in the first half and that tap in at the end. But it is what it is. But people, hit that like button before you go. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe, please. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification so you will know when we go live. We'll have a lot of content for you. Huh?
Are we on the road to you guys? Well, I say we. Are you guys on the road to 4K now? Basically 4K.
We are. Yes, guys. Help us reach 4K. We are not away from 4K. Just 10 subs.
Under 100.
Let's go.
Is it 10? Damn.
Yes.
I think you know what? Because I'm not gonna lie. Just have to shameless in there. Big Six Bands.
100. Sorry, 100 sub.
100. Sorry, 100.
Yeah.
We are one sub away from 1,900 subs. I'm one
And
subscriber.
Guys, for Monty and Monts, their channel is in the description and the Twitter account. Go give them a follow, give them a like on their channel, subscribe to the channel.
Where's my channel? My channel will be in there as well.
It is right there. The talking kid.
That's what I'm talking about.
Monts, did you by any chance watch the Arsenal game today?
I didn't. You know what? I actually didn't get to watch the Arsenal. I'm gonna watch the extended highlights.
Mate, it was. I think you'd like it. Yeah. I think
it was sick. It was sick.
Yeah.
Sick from the first minute. Like they didn't. Sevilla had no. But Sevilla, they were.
This is a team that drew 1-1 with Spurs the other day. They drew 1-1 with Spurs the other day. You know what I mean?
They're
ready.
Again, I said people need to just be wary of, like, a lot of people are counting out Arsenal winning. I just said, listen, be wary because right now they are flying. And that's not to say Tottenham, I said Tottenham got the Champions League football. They're looking good. They had a lot of signings.
Tottenham got a great squad. 100%.
Yeah,
They've got a great
Tottenham
squad.
doing. I want to say great, stretching it.
They've got the world class talismans. Yeah,
it's better than last year. Better than it's better than last year.
But I think people are. I said Zinchenko and Jesus are going to shock a lot of people in it.
What about the other London team, Chelsea? Did anybody watch the game? I watched the highlights. I still think they are not. They're not convincing. They're not convincing.
They need someone else to go with Sterling. They just need to. Someone else needs to be with Sterling in that attack. Otherwise, for me, they're going to see a lot more of the same of last season, but maybe with an extra bit of yardie sauce in Raheem Sterling. That's pretty much about it. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I love Raheem as a fellow Jamaican. I love Raheem to bits in it, so I never tolerate Raheem slander. But he is going to need someone else to work off for it.
100%, yeah.
You know what I mean?
But man, Monts Koulibaly today looked like whoa. Koulibaly.
Did he look today? He looked good today. He looked good yesterday.
Yesterday was very good. Like very good. Koulibaly,
still conceded though.
Yeah, but he's a really Van Dijk conceded today.
William Saliba hasn't. Yeah,
that's what I think. Saliba looks good, very composed. Saliba very
for
good.
20. And the maddest thing, the maddest thing is that he's 21. That you and you like how.
Who does he replace, by the way? Does he replace Ben White or
Ben White? Ben White is a right back now. Ben White is a right back officially.
Well, yeah, he's basically our right back at the moment because Tomiyasu his just injuries. Like Tomiyasu is a baller. Like I love Tomiyasu, but his injuries are savage.
He wasn't that injury prone before he came to your club, though, was he? So
I think it's just his calves, bro. Have you seen the size of the dude's calves, bro? Like they're actually insane. Yeah. Like, mate, like he's just getting injured all the time. He's getting injured.
I want to get into this comment. How everybody worried about Chelsea getting top 4?
I think Chelsea in the top 4.
You reckon?
Who's dropping, guys? Who's dropping?
Because even though Chelsea, with their deficiencies, they still know how to churn out results in terms of consistency. The only thing I worry about when it comes to Tottenham and Arsenal is the consistency. Because one week I'll look at these guys and think, wait, these guys are actually very good. And then another week I'll look like Tottenham with their 1-0. Tottenham have looked great pretty much all preseason. And then the last 2 games, I'm like, what am I seeing here? Is this a team that actually finished in the top 4? I know it's preseason, but I'm just talking about in terms of consistency. Even last season when they went on the run and then they went, it was like over 180 minutes without scoring, getting a shot on target or something like that. Like,
yeah, I remember that.
It's that capability of inconsistency that's quite high. I don't really associate Chelsea with that, but I could be wrong. It's just what I'm feeling now. I could be wrong. Do you know what I mean?
I think Chelsea don't get anybody. I think Chelsea drop out of the top 4.
Same.
I think
they played Raheem Sterling as a
centre backs.
Yeah,
they've lost 2 centre backs and they've only brought one in. If you know Thiago Silva, can he keep playing every single week, Champions League and Premier League? If they have an injury to one of them two, Koulibaly or Thiago Silva, I think
without an injury, they still playing Azpilicueta or Chalobah. I don't think you can challenge with these two.
Azpilicueta off though, no? Is he not going to Barca still?
Yeah, he seems like he's going Barca as well.
Yeah,
he started yesterday.
Timo Werner might be going apparently on loan. It's coming out now. Juve are interested.
Yeah, and
Leipzig got him. They've lost Lukaku. They brought Sterling in. Apparently, they're rumored to be interested
No cover for their wing backs.
It's because they've got no
Alonso's there. Alonso hasn't left.
I think they've got no director like managing their transfers.
Right,
you know what I mean?
If Arsenal and Spurs get the ground running, I think Chelsea could be in trouble for that 4th spot.
The thing about it is that Thomas Tuchel, as Monty said, he know how to get results. Thomas Tuchel know how to get like the 1-0, the 2-1 result. He knows how to get the 3 points.
That crap and win. It's glorified.
Yeah, they know. Yeah.
I think there's going to be a lot. I think the whole league is going to be a lot more competitive though this year. If you look at the likes of Newcastle, look at Aston Villa, you look at, even Nottingham Forest, they could upset someone on the day with their transfers they've done. Like it's the Premier League at the end of the day, but the whole league is just strengthened massively, especially sort of those like Newcastle and West Ham. I think West Ham, they could even catch up potentially Man United personally.
They should have got Lingard though, bro. If they got Lingard, that would have been even bigger statement.
I think it's mad he went to Nottingham Forest. I think that's just crazy for them. They've
money.
Yeah.
All about that, man.
You see Mount and Gallagher. Do you guys see Mount as a number 10 or an 8? I'm really confused. Or a winger.
Some Chelsea fans came out and said that they think Gilmour is better than Gallagher. today. There was a thing
Oh,
on Twitter.
that's crazy, man. The guy couldn't even play for Norwich.
Norwich.
Yeah, they were saying that they think that Gilmore is better than Gallagher.
Billy Gilmore.
That's
But
mad.
they're very different positions, by the way. Billy Gilmore is a like to Jorginho, like securing the ball in front of the defense. Gallagher is more of a box to box midfielder. Like Gallagher tries to be like Kante. Gallagher tries to play box to box, help the midfielder, also and go forward. But I don't think Kante looked good yesterday. I think Kante starts with Jorginho, also Kovacic. I think Gallagher is not gonna start. I know that people like him. The Chelsea fans, they love Gallagher, but I don't think he starts. I think he's going to be a rotational player, and remember Chelsea will play about 60 games this year because I still think they're going to go deeper in the Champions League. They're not going to get out of the group stage or the round of 16. They're going to go quarterfinal and they're going to go that deeper in the cup. They know this guy Thomas Tuchel knows how to win the knockout games, right? Like we know that already. So they're going to play. They're going to need a lot of players. My worry for them is the right center back. And my worry for them is someone to lead the line. And I don't see anybody. Kai Havertz is not good enough to lead the line. Raheem Sterling needs support. He needed support at City, and he had the support from the system. He needs support. Timo Werner's leaving. But I think if Timo Werner leaves, something is cooking in the background. These people are not just sleeping. They have something cooking in the background. I don't know whom, but they have something cooking.
Anthony, I've heard, to be fair. That's a new one that's come out. And they very well could beat United to him. That wouldn't surprise me.
But how much would it cost, though?
They asked for 60 double A.
They're saying 80 to 100 million euros. I don't think it's going to be that. Because they don't need to sell anymore, do the Ajax? But I imagine they'll probably go for 60. Whether we pay that, I don't know. Chelsea probably will, especially with if Werner goes. But
yeah, definitely. I think Chelsea are the most at risk, in my opinion. They've got so much weaker, and the whole back line, especially losing someone like Rudiger, who was so good in a back three. I think that was huge for them. That was actually huge for them, and like they haven't really. Yeah, they've got Koulibaly, he's a good player, but they've got other aging players that they need to move on, and they haven't replaced them with sort of young talent. Because I mean, Thiago Silva is we know he's a great player, but is he going to be able to carry on for 50 odd games?
The bone marrow in those knees, man. It's going by day.
Do you know what I mean? Like if that they're at risk. Yeah. My opinion.
Yeah. I want to, guys, hit that like button. We're still not at 100, and we have 105 people watching. Hit that like. I'm sure that there's about 30 people of you haven't hit that like button yet. So hit it. It's under the video. If you're on your cell phone, close the chat. You'll find the like button, and then open the chat again. It's simple, easy. You will help us by hitting that. It's more important than anything else. It looks like this. It's free. It doesn't cost a penny. Just do it. It looks like this. I'm gonna move to the last team, to be honest. It's Spurs. I think they will show consistency this year. I think Spurs are not going to be Spursy. They're not going to challenge for the league, and they're not going to drop. They're just going to be consistent. They're going to be they're going to have this third, fourth in the middle, and then I think they're going to be comfortable third at the end. That's just my opinion, because the team looked, even though they lost to Roma today, I watched the game, they looked comfortable. The team had an identity going forward and defending. Romero looks good. Forward, Kane is dropping. I know that, Monts, you're not worried about Tottenham at all, but I'm sure that everybody's worried about Tottenham just taking points from them, not challenging them, because I don't think they can win against most teams. But I think that Tottenham can pick up points from anybody.
I think up until Christmas, you guys are beaten in amongst the top three. I think you're up until Christmas. I just think because of the chat that you guys have played, you guys were like Arsenal last season, where you're basically playing one game a week, because you guys, obviously the whole thing that happened with coming out of the Conference League unfairly, which I definitely think you would have easily won that Conference League if you stayed in it. Easily would have won it. Yeah. But I think that now playing Champions League ball, extra games, you now need a bigger squad, and your squad is strengthened, but the amount of games has also increased. So I think maybe by Christmas time, November, Christmas time, I feel like that will maybe be when you guys start to drop off. I think right now you have the capacity to be in and amongst the top three if you play well.
I'm gonna let the people tell you.
We've got the World Cup as well, isn't it? We've got the World Cup. So
yeah, and the World Cup. And so I'm saying So yeah, I think so. Well, so after the World Cup, I just generally think there might be a drop off for Spurs. But I do think in the head to head, the way they move in transition is very scary. In the head
Oh, they're so quick. Yeah, with Song, when you got Song and Kane, you just know you need to find them, and they'll. Do you know what I mean? They'll get to
They'll do the
space.
business,
Like,
yeah.
like that's the thing that they've got. They've got two genuine world class players, and
Yeah.
that's huge. For them. Like, if they ever lost them, I think they'd be in trouble in terms of the depth. Like, if someone asked me, who out of Tottenham, who would I want at Arsenal? I would only pick Song and Kane. I think every single one of our other of our team is better. Personally.
No, Romero's better than Ben White, and Romero is better than Gabriel.
I would take
Bissouma-
Saliba though. I would take
Bissouma
Saliba over Romero though.
And Bissouma is better than all your midfielders.
Bissouma is a very good midfielder.
Bissouma
he's a good midfielder, but I personally prefer.
I think Bissouma could have done something for Liverpool, something for you could have gone Man United could have done with him. I think a lot of us could have done with a Bissouma.
I think he could have gotten any top 6.
Oh my God, these guys would need a Bissouma in United. They would need a Bissouma for sure.
We need 11 Bissoumas. We need 11.
Yeah, I think you need a lot of them.
For real, man. If we're talking about who needs who, they need Bissouma.
United comes up top of the list every single time you mention who needs a player. Don't worry about that. In any position.
I am not a Spurs fan. I am not. I just like Antonio Conte as a coach, like anybody that because he won me at Inter the Serie A title after 10 years. This is why I like the guy, to be honest. But I'm not a Spurs supporter. I don't care if they win or lose. I really don't give a shit about them. If people, I'm gonna say that if I'm gonna be a supporter for these years, it has to be Liverpool for me because of Mo Salah, right? Because I'm Egyptian and it has to be. Right, like it's just.
He was amazing today, by the way. He was very good today.
He ran the game. I said it. Under the radar, ran the game. Under the radar.
I don't understand the hate he gets because he's just an unbelievable football player. I don't like Liverpool, as you can probably imagine. There's not one thing I can say, but watching him, it's just great, isn't it? Like, you know,
it's scary. It's scary.
He's unbelievable, man. He's an unbelievable player, and. You know
the
going to be
penalty.
Scary again.
The penalty. He crossed that with his right. People don't realize that he plays sometimes with the right foot. The crosses, right, Monts? He dribbles to the line and crosses with the right foot. People don't.
People say he has a bad first touch. He's got no tech. All this stuff.
He has tech. Did you see that dribble today?
There was one time he had 2 City players on him, and someone played like a 60-yard pass, and he just killed it.
It's the first goal. The first goal.
Oh my!
Thiago played that ball long. It's dead, and then outside the foot, right weight to Trent to just come a one touch, and that was the first goal.
Well, it was the ball control, the way that it was pressed. I had that 3 City players were all within 2 meters of him, and the way he was just able to just dribble everyone through.
It's a lot of hate. And
one of my favorite things about him, I don't think it gets talked about is not enough. Is his goal scoring is great. This, and this. His intelligence is second to none. Like, he knows where players are. That ball for was it for Robertson for the Nunez goal?
Yeah,
that's just perfect.
And the one for the penalty as well. It's just kind of a sort of thing. Thinks it kind of over. Yeah,
intelligent.
He was immense.
Crazy.
I know that people are sleeping on him because of Haaland and Nunez coming in, but I still think that Salah and Kane.
I think
to be honest with you, they're going to be Salah, Kane, De Bruyne will still be the best players in the league. Salah,
I think he likes it being classed as the underdog. I think it drives him on even further, doesn't it? And not being spoke about or being written off. Sure. I think last year was it when he was going through a bit of a dry spell. First half of the season, people were writing him off.
After the AFCON.
And after
you have
that,
to understand, he's the captain of our national team. He lost it. He didn't go to the World Cup on penalties both. He has to have a dip. And he's a human being at the end, right? Like, it just, and it was a lot of, you guys, 100 million Egyptian having all the weight on his shoulders in the national team. It's a big pressure, As I understand why he dropped.
Senegal one,
would you not see yourself?
Senegal's 11 as well. Senegal's 11 compared to Egypt's 11.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm just saying, and compared to Egypt have a few decent players, but you look at Senegal, they've got Premier League proven players. Koulibaly, Mendy, all these Mane, all these guys, Premier. So I think people forget that Mo took Egypt to their first ever World
World Cup in 20 years.
In 20 years.
Yeah.
30
You know?
years, sorry, 30 years. Since
I think with
1990.
Egypt have won the AFCON the most amount of times. Like, even though the AFCON's a big thing for Egypt, they've been there and done that so many times. It's about the World Cup for them. You know what I mean? That's why I think the World Cup affected Salah more than the AFCON loss, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's very, 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 yes, because we were not expected to win the AFCON, but we were expected to go to the World Cup. And anyway, this is it for us today. We talked about them. I think nothing changed other than Liverpool are still very, very, very good people. They are not, don't count them out. And United are still not good.
Still
even
shit.
with Ten Hag.
Yeah,
But
terrible.
Good.
watch out for us.
Watch out for these people. Watch out for these
watch
people.
out
They
for
were
Arsenal.
looked good. They're cooking. Gabriel Jesus is on top of his game. He is the top scorer of preseason. We'll get him a trophy, maybe like a boot, cartoon boot or something, like a cardboard boot or something. And Spurs are still under Antonio Conte. They're gonna be crazy, but I think they will get it done. And Chelsea, Thomas Tuchel, I think nothing changed, to be honest, this season. I still think that two will challenge and the rest will just do the top four. And that's going to be it, in my opinion. So for everybody that watched us here, I want to thank you from all the Never a Foul family. Thank all my guests. Double A, thank you so much for being here.
Finally, bro, we've got together on Never a Foul to do a stream. I appreciate it. It's been good. Enjoyed it. Just quickly, Talking Kit, the best football kit content on the internet. Make sure you're hitting subscribe, checking us out. Got a show tomorrow. Get to know. We sit down with a football kit seller, football kit collector, and just find out why they love it and why they get and do what they do, kind of thing. So yeah, check us out 7 p.m. on the Talking Kit YouTube channel.
Yeah, Monty, thank you so much for coming in. It was always great to talk to you and plug in your channel, my friend. And because it's an exciting season, huh? It's an exciting season for you, bro.
Mate, it's gonna be a good season, man. I'm buzzing. Thanks for having me on, Mo. It's always good to speak to you guys. And if type in AFC Monts on Twitter, that's the best place to get me. But maybe we'll see you supporting the Pyramid Pirlo in Moamen instead of the Egyptian king. Do you know what I mean? Like, watch out for us, baby.
Monts is Monts, big fans. And tell us where people to find you. But guys, you'll find the description of all the channels. You'll find all the channel links in the description. Hit that link and give them a subscribe. Monts, talk to the people where they can find you.
First of all, a big up Talking Kit. Obviously, I've got a little concept thing here as well. I don't know if you can see it. Kind of like
come on. We had a Liverpool guy on yet. You need to come on, Monts, yeah?
Yeah,
come
it's like a little
come and talk Liverpool, bro.
See.
It's sick. Apart from the badge. Looks
Yeah, I can't rock the badge for you, man. I'm joking. But yeah, no, big six bands, very, very toxic football channel, argument, shouting, screaming, but we are objective at least 40% of the time. We are objective. So if you want to see any more of that toxic sort of stuff, as I said, top six rivals, all that sort of stuff, combined 11s, everything there. Just head over and subscribe. It's in the description below. You're going to find a lot of me on Never a Foul as well. So big up to everyone in the chat. I'm still one subscriber away from 1,900 subs. And then it's obviously on the home straight to 2K. So please, if you can, drop a sub and big up and like this video as well.
Yeah, thank you everybody for watching us. It was great having the show. And probably we'll see you soon. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.